Hello, my lovelies! This is Jenny from Jenny's Fun Facts. We just want to take a moment to thank you so much, P Eats Meal Preps, for sponsoring our episodes. New menu out every Friday, ordered by Sunday, delivered fresh by Tuesday, and guess what? They deliver to all Montreal surrounding areas as well. Healthy, fresh, and delivered to your door for free. Add them and our podcast on Instagram at p.eats_. P as in Peter, R-E, P as in Peter, S. Thanks, P Eats Meal Preps.
Okay, could you help me? Put my shirt. Oh my God, I think it's on. Hold on. Wait. Oh my God, Robert, I am so sorry. I was just finishing up the bills. I was wanting to do it for 2 whole weeks now, and I started this morning. I was really on a roll. But I'm here and I'm ready. I'm so sorry.
Please stand by for station identification.
Welcome to Noon Hour Out of the Box, episode 36. Thank you all so much for bearing with me as I struggle to come on. Your love and constant support is so appreciated. And of course, a huge thank you to Jenny Jahame, who makes all this happen as our producer, and to my good friend and co-host, who I think is a little annoyed with me, Mr. Robert D'Alessio. How are you? And I'm so sorry, Robert.
You have such a lovable face. How can I possibly be mad at you? Oh my God, but it just goes to show, Esther, that when you wait for the last minute, this is what happens.
You know what? I had been putting off all that stuff, and this morning I was in the mood. I wanted to get it done. It was due for tomorrow, though. I have to say, in my procrastination, I am responsible. So I consider myself a responsible procrastinator. I mean, here I am, right? Maybe a tad late, but yeah. I do apologize. It is something that I deal with and I struggle with, but I always get the job done. However, I think I cause a lot of people anxiety as well as myself in the process.
Do you know? Well, I never think too about anxiety being caused from procrastination. I know that my daughter is a world-renowned, awarded procrastinator. I can remember she had assignments, big projects, and she would start at 7 p.m. the night before, go through all night, going late to school, and then having completed what she had to complete, but she got it done and she handed it in and she was okay. And it just drove me nuts. And to this day, it still drives me nuts. I actually taught her a valuable lesson at one point. I remember that I was so fed up and annoyed with her procrastination and being late and all that. I said, listen, she wanted me to take her to get some, those deck cards, Pokemon cards, whatever.
Right.
So I told her, listen, I got to get to the car. And if you're not in the car at 9:30, I am leaving. And as a good daddy as I always had been for all of those 12 years, I would always give in. But that morning I was so determined. I said, I don't care. Come hell or high water, I'm leaving at 9:30. 9:30, I look out, she's at the door. I told myself at 9:30, she had to be sitting beside me. So she wasn't sitting beside me. I left, I went. I saw in the back in the mirror there, but that little dance she was pulling off me and I probably heard a word or two that I can't repeat, but still, I taught her a lesson. Or did I? She's still a procrastinator.
Yeah, well, it is, there are 20%, like the banner just said, 20% of adults tested that they were in fact procrastinators. So it can be chronic as well. It is more common in students, especially university students. I know that another study showed that up to 90% admitted to being procrastinators. I myself was a horrible procrastinator in university, literally would do papers the night before, would study for final exams 2 days before. It was almost as if the pressure was what I needed to get the job done. And that is one of the factors that that people who procrastinate rely on, that almost that adrenaline, that need to know that they only have X amount of time to get it done. So there are many reasons, and some of it is just pure avoidance, Robert. Sometimes things are just so uncomfortable and cause so much anxiety that you avoid it. And there's so many different reasons why people procrastinate, and it has definite negative consequences. I mean, paying bills late. Some people pay their income tax late. Just getting things done where people are relying on you, and causing grief on their side as well because of your inability to get things done on time.
Exactly. Look, I just don't know how you do it. When it comes to bills, if I know that about the 17th of the month, the visa statement is supposed to be in my mailbox. If it's not there, I'm going to call them up saying, what is the matter with you people? And we're late, what happened? And it's going to be there one day or another. Well, lo and behold, usually a day or two after the statement is in the mail, and at the moment I open it up, I pay it right away. I do not wait. You know why? Because I could end up, or maybe my girlfriend's going to end up putting it in a drawer somewhere, inadvertently. It's going to go unpaid. I just got to get it done right away. Get it done right away. It's done, and we don't talk about it.
I hear you, Robert. I hear you. So, Robert, what is procrastination?
Well, let's take a look at what procrastination is here. Procrastination is the act of delaying or putting off tasks until the last minute or past their deadline. Some researchers define procrastination as a form of self-regulation failure characterized by the irrational delay of tasks despite potentially negative consequences.
So, in reference to academics, like we just spoke about, researchers suggest that procrastination can be particularly pronounced among students. A 2007 meta-analysis published in the Psychological Bulletin found that a whopping 80% to 95% of college students procrastinated on a regular basis, particularly when it came to completing assignments and coursework. I totally understand that.
I just don't understand how they always get away with it. There's always something that can happen. Anything. Your mother's sick, you got to bring your dad to the hospital. You just won the lottery, you got to go pick up your winning ticket.
For that reason, I would not procrastinate. To know that there's a winning lottery ticket somewhere, that's definitely a reason not to.
Why? What's the difference? It's only what? It's just money. It's just paper.
So there are some causes. And what do you think they are, Robert?
Well, the causes, at least one of the biggest factors contributing to procrastination is the notion that we have to feel inspired or motivated to work on a task at a particular moment. The reality is that if you wait until you're in the right frame of mind to do certain tasks, especially undesirable ones, you will probably find that the right time simply never comes along and the task never gets completed. It's exactly what I'm trying to say.
That's true. There are several other reasons as well. For instance, not knowing what needs to be done, not knowing how to do something, not wanting to do something. I relate to that one. Not caring if it gets done or not caring when something does get done, and not feeling in the mood to do it. Being in the habit of waiting until the last minute. Hello, that's my life. Believing that you can work better under pressure. Yes, there's a lot of truth to that. Thinking that you can finish it at the last minute. That's a dangerous one. Lacking the initiative to get started. I think that's more common than we realize. Forgetting. Yeah, that's happened to me. Blaming sickness or poor health. Waiting for the right moment. I think we do that for a lot of things, Robert. Needing time to think about the task and delaying one task in favor of working on another. Guilty as charged. I'm always doing that, Robert. I have like 5 or 6 things going on at the same time. So sometimes I will move from one task to another, call it boredom, call it a little ADHD, or just call it, generalized procrastination. I'm not really sure what the reason is.
And how about the audience? Do you have anything to relate with us in terms of procrastination, being late, turning in assignments late, paying bills late, paying your income taxes late? Maybe you also want to share what some of your consequences have been due to your procrastination.
Yeah, there's definitely negative consequences to that. And not only in terms of paying your bills, but even socially and whatnot. So I found this psychotherapist on TikTok who had something to say about procrastination. Her name is Nadia Adesi, and she's actually got millions and millions of followers. So
Oh,
let's just check out what she has to say.
by all means.
If you are somebody who struggles with procrastination, I'm a psychotherapist and I have a tip for you. A psychology study has found that procrastination is not about poor time management skills, but instead is about avoiding unwanted negative emotions. Think about it. When we avoid a task like doing an assignment, it's not because our time isn't organized. It might just be because that assignment is really hard and it makes us feel dumb, or the material is overwhelming. So instead, we're avoiding emotions of sadness, confusion, frustration. It's not about the time management piece at all. So what do? One, when we are procrastinating, we ask ourselves, what emotion am I avoiding and why? And two, we try to regulate that emotion and find other ways that we can complete the task without causing that emotion to happen.
Yeah, that is so very true. And that's what I was saying. It's not about difficulty with time management. It's more about the emotions and feelings you have attached to the tasks involved. So that what she's saying is very true. And that's how it is for a lot of people. But some people can overcome it and override it. And other people just sort of, you're going like this, Robert, like you're not believing what I have to say. What's going on? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm just thinking, I'm going back as when I was a bus driver, city bus driver. I remember this woman getting onto the bus that one morning, and she was yelling at me at the top of her lungs because she was going to be late for work. I go, ma'am, it's not my fault. I'm in traffic over here. Yeah, but just can't you just roll faster? Hey, there's a bus 20 minutes right before me. Why did you wait to take this bus here, knowing that maybe, just maybe, something can go wrong, something might happen? No, you have to take the bus. So you walk into your office, punch your card, sit at your desk, and it's 9 o'clock. Sorry, you don't do things that way. You gotta think ahead, think of what can happen, plan.
So what tips do you have, Robert, for us procrastinators? Do you have any personal tips that you can give us?
Yes, I do have personal tips.
Okay, go ahead.
First one, don't procrastinate. Second one, don't be late. Third one, actually, it's a matter of disciplining yourself.
Yes,
Let's say if
true.
you have, let's just take 5 tasks. Okay, it's not a thing of making things dramatic. You go with this gradually. So if you got 5 tasks, to say, okay, you know what, this is due. I got to do this by Thursday. I got to do this one here by Saturday. So you go with the order in which whatever is coming first.
Yeah.
So the exercise is normally it would be the Wednesday at midnight. You know that I gotta get. Then I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be done for 9 in the morning. So instead of doing it that way, try to do it like Tuesday at 9 p.m. And just take baby steps, just like going ahead, and giving yourself some room in case, and to learn that something may go wrong. And as you're doing this, sometimes what happens is that coincidentally, something may have gone wrong. You say, oh my God, thank God I did it. Because look, if I didn't do it, that would have been in the way and I couldn't have had it done. So it's like positive reinforcement by doing things in a certain way and actually experiencing what could happen. That's a way of showing you, see what the consequence could have been. It's like disciplining yourself, taking baby steps. Instead of doing like that, the last minute, try to do it maybe within the last 10 minutes, something to that effect.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think it's also important, for instance, to make lists. I know that works for me, that if I make a list and then I prioritize and I literally do it by number and I highlight. The only thing is that I sometimes sort of forget to make the list, but when I do, when I'm thinking and are focused, I can follow the list that I've put out there. But It's just a matter of actually getting the list done. So we have a little bit of tips here for
Sure.
overcoming procrastination. One of them is deal with your fear. So, fear is one factor that contributes to procrastination. This can involve the fear of failure, a fear of making mistakes, or even a fear of success. That's interesting. Make a list, like
Funny.
I just said. Yeah, start by creating a to do list with things that you would like to accomplish and break projects down into more manageable segments. And this is particularly true for people who have ADHD. I know that I used to do that with my son. When you are faced with a big project, you might feel daunted, intimidated, or even hopeless when you look at the sheer amount of work involved. At this point, take individual items on your list and break them down into a series of steps.
Esther, it is funny how time just flies by.
Don't I know it, Robert?
Being an aviation fan, I know all about flying.
Right.
And it's, that moment once again to bid everybody farewell and to thank everyone for having tuned in to Noon Hour Out of the Box with Esther and myself. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny Duhane, for producing our show. Thank you, Esther, for being such a wonderful co-host.
My pleasure, Robert. And I'm so sorry about earlier. I really thought I had the time to make it as we went live. But what can I say?
You're so lovable. It's hard to be mad at you. But there are a lot of people I can be mad at. Folks, just remember that every Saturday, we're on accessradio.ca. We're airing between noon and 3 p.m. And next week, we have our collaborators coming on once again, and they are
althealth.me. Also, Esther's Breeze, which is on this Thursday at 8. And I will be having Kristen Stovall, who is a novelist. Ooh. Right. She's recently written a series of fantasy novels, and it's all based because of some tragedy she had in her life. It's going to be a very interesting discussion.
It's going to be an interesting show. So, folks, tune in tomorrow night at 8 o'clock at Esther's Breeze. In the meantime, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. God bless, and see you next week.
Ciao for now.